Well, what is up, everybody? It is a little bit after 5 o'clock. I've been out just doing a little bit of filming of the weather. Conditions have greatly started to deteriorate. I hope everybody is off of the roads and in their safe areas, wherever that may be. For the cast members at Disney, the team members at Universal, ambassadors at SeaWorld, model citizens at Legoland, and all the employees around this area, I hope you all are safe and you are not going to be out on the roads because things are going bad quickly out there. I could not imagine trying to drive through this. I've got some clips from this. I've been filming with my camera. I'll go ahead and throw them in there or in this, and so you can see. And like I mentioned in the camera, you'll see it in a minute when I show this, well, a little bit. It's going to be a long night. This thing is moving a lot quicker than was expected, and what was supposed to be tropical storm conditions tonight are now going to be more tropical/hurricane tonight, and then by like 11 or 12 o'clock, this thing's going to be a thing of the past. So originally it was supposed to be more so all day tomorrow and not so much tonight, but that's changed. That's why I said these things, you can never rest on these damn storms, man. They just do what they want. And right now, the eye wall is moving east. You know, there is Reed Timmer's got a really good feed going where it shows which direction that eye wall is going. And, you know, we'll throw all that in here after I'm done. But the one thing I want to talk about, though, that really kind of pissed me off a little bit was the Disney resort. Now, we're all worried about the cast members of the parks, right? Hopefully they all got home safe. The parks closed at 2. Let's just hope that everybody was able to get out of there and get to wherever they need to be. What we fail to forget is these poor cast members at the hotels. Now, I would imagine they're probably having them stay there, but I didn't expect for cast members to still be working outside in the conditions that are going on. There's one of the million live streamers now around Central Florida here. They're live streaming out at Coronado Springs. Apparently, they've got a room there, and they're walking around the resort live streaming. Well, they were heading towards the arcade out there at Coronado Springs. Now, if you remember the vlog I did showcasing the pool area, you know, with the big temple and the steps and the waterfall going into the pool, if you notice, there's lifeguard stands around there, and you can hear them as they're walking up going, "Oh, you know, you want to go swimming?" You know, he goes, no way. There's no way that pool's open. And I mean, at that point, it's raining, and you know the conditions are starting to get bad. And they were commenting on how there's no way that pool's going to be open. And sure enough, they come around the corner, and all the lifeguards are on their stands. Not a single person in that pool. Wind's starting to blow. At that time, a tornado warning was issued for Orange County. Now, thank goodness, it was nowhere near that area. It was more for southeastern Orange County. But this thing has been kicking up tornadoes like crazy. This is just one of those storms. That's one of the bad things too about these hurricanes is the outer bands are notorious for producing tornadoes. Like I said, they're not big ones. They're not like Indiana or, you know, the Central Plains tornadoes where they get up to like EF 3, 4, and 5s. But these are like EF 1s, and they'll still cause a lot of problems. There's already ring doorbell cameras, the footage of Fort Myers where a tornado went ripping down the street and shredded a bunch of trees. You know, so you got to be really careful with this. And at the time, too, there was thunder in the air. Like, I don't understand. Like, what is it with these parks, you know, and these companies? What are you going to be... You honestly think people want to go out and use the swimming pool at that point? I don't get it. And I hope that at least by now that these cast members are somewhere inside and safe and not still out there on these stands. I mean, I I'm going to show you the video. I screen snipped it. I mean, people need to see this stuff, and I'm sorry. I don't care if people like it or not, but this is, I mean, it's unexcusable. There's absolutely no reason to have people out there. There's nobody in the pool. Anybody that wants to go in that pool, I'd be like, man, you go right ahead. You have a great time, but don't call me if you get in trouble. You know, we're in a tropical storm now. I'm just some of the things I've seen over the last few days, it's just like, what is going on here? But these freaking resort and theme park companies need to get with the program, man. I'm telling you. You know, they're already catching a lot of flack for waiting to call the storm, or basically call the storm hours. Like, they literally waited till the last minute. We all knew this thing's coming. You know, it was no secret. But nobody knew until yesterday, later afternoon, that Universal and Disney were going to be closing. And then they didn't even close all day today. They were still open till 2 p.m. And so when these guys are out there live streaming at Coronado, it was about 3:30, almost 4 o'clock, and the conditions were getting bad. And so it's just irritating, you know, that it's profits above all else. And you know what? I hate complaining about this because I support these parks. I really do. But this kind of stuff really, really, really makes you wonder sometimes, like, what are we doing here? You know, I'm just tired of employees getting used and abused like that, you know, to where you literally have them out in a freaking hurricane. Like, what? And they had all their rain gear on, and they're just sheltered under these umbrellas that are, you know, getting wind blown. I don't understand it. You know, I'm sorry. I would have, as much as it's hard for me to do so, I would probably almost be considering walking off the job at that point. You know, like, you got me out here for what? What am I doing here? You know, and sadly, most of those lifeguards are, I mean, I think Disney pays them decently, but still, you know, $18, $20 an hour. Is it worth it to be out there in a tropical storm? You got stuff flying around. You got electricity in the air. You got this thing dropping down, EF1 tornadoes all over the place. I mean, come on now. Disney, knock that shit off. I hope Universal didn't do that. I really hope they pulled everybody inside. SeaWorld, I'll give SeaWorld some credit. I got a message from them on, yesterday was Wednesday. I got a message from them Tuesday that the parks were going to be closing all day. Or no, yesterday was Tuesday. I got a message from them Monday saying that the parks were going to be closed all day, Wednesday and Thursday, and then they would take a look at Friday, and they would plan on reopening, but just, you know, watch the schedule. SeaWorld's the only one. Legoland too. Legoland closed down all day today and all day tomorrow. But man, Universal and Disney, this was not a good look for them. I'm sorry, it just really wasn't. You're really, 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 I think it's rubbing people the wrong way, because there's a lot of podcasts that have gone on out there in the last, 12 hours discussing this, and why did they wait so long to, make a decision to close the parks and get their employees home safely. I don't understand that. It's, if honestly, even they didn't have to open today. There was absolutely zero reason to be open today. They didn't allow annual pass holders in today, thank God, because there's people that would have gone out there and flooded the parks. I guarantee you, as sure as I'm sitting here, I'm not going to be part of that. But there was somebody in there live streaming now. They must have bought a ticket, because you can't get in. Annual pass holders, everybody was all blocked out. The only way you're getting in that park today is if you had an actual ticket, and it would only be good from 8 to 1 at Studios and Animal Kingdom, and then 8 to 2 at, I think, Magic Kingdom and Epcot. But man, you can hear the wind or the rain pounding the window. But honestly, did the parks have to be open for 6 hours today? Are you really missing out on that much profit? Because I saw a little bit of the guy that was, whoever it was, live streaming. I mean, like I said, there's 50 million of them now here in Orlando, and there was a handful of people in the park. Like, is it worth it? And everybody's walking through driving rain and all that. Why? So, anyway, just my little rant. Anyway, the other thing I want to talk about is a little bit more on the safety aspect of things. People, if you have generators or you are in a house around somebody with a generator, please be very careful. There's a condition called backfeeding, and that's if these generators aren't installed right, or it can even happen if they are installed right, meaning if the power goes out and the generator kicks on, it can backfeed out of the house or whatever it's connected to and actually recharge. You can actually power up almost a neighbor's house. You can power up wires if you have overhead wires outside of your house. And what happens is lines come down and, they may look like they're not powered or anything, and people will go, firefighters especially. That's one of the things that they taught us really, really. They really hammered on that in Charleston. They said be very careful, even think about moving any down wires, because in generators from homes and everywhere else backfeeding, and that line can be charged. So you have to be extremely, extremely careful with that kind of stuff. And like I said, at this point now, everybody should be inside. There is a curfew now. Osceola County and Orange County, Lake County, everybody. Curfew is at, I think it was 3 o'clock today, 3 or 4 o'clock today. Everybody had to be off the roads. And then 8 o'clock tonight, nobody out, period. No, nobody. And because there was somebody on that live stream asking about the curfew, if they could still be walking around the resort, which to me is insane. Like, why would you want to walk outside in this? For what? For views? I mean, I don't get it. But basically what it is that curfew means, and Disney had, I guess, it up on the information boards that once 8 o'clock hits, everybody has to be in their rooms or inside the resort. Nobody outside. None. Nothing at all. So right now, nobody on the roads. And like I said, if I'm not going to get called in until, I'm definitely going into work Friday for sure, because this thing's going to be done by tomorrow early afternoon. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't cancel the hurricane teams tomorrow afternoon and try to get people home and have night shift come in tomorrow, and then the day shift will pick it up on Friday. And then, like I said, we'll return everything to normal. Probably we'll be back on normal scheduling by Sunday. But a lot of it has to do with, flooding and then wind damage, whatever we get out of this thing. So, but yeah, as of tonight, or as of right now, nobody should be on the road. Anybody that's in emergency services, healthcare workers, all that, we all have a piece of paper from the state of Florida that we have to keep on ourselves all the time if we're going to be out on the roads in the next 24 hours. Like I said, in case we were to get stopped, you show the officer that, and you'll be good to go. But anybody that doesn't have that, you'll be cited and sent home. So this is no joke now. This is the real deal. So please stay safe. Please stay home. Like I mentioned in my other vlog, if you're here, people start getting scared. People start getting worried. Just keep everybody calm. Find something to do. If you're at especially a Disney resort, the gift shops and that are open. There's all kinds of cool stuff down there. There's games, there's puzzles, there's all kinds of really cool stuff to go grab and take to your room and just, have some fun. There's a lot of sports on tonight. There's some college football. There's a little bit of baseball on tonight. Hopefully they can get another game on Kansas City. My God, they can't lose to Kansas City. Please, no. No. So there's a lot, there's a lot to do inside. I've been just kind of trying to keep busy. Now that the storm's picking up, my plan was I wanted to do my little roller coaster projects, and I'm probably going to wait till tomorrow to do that. I am just not in the mood right now to be doing intricate stuff. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm a little nervous. I really am. This is kind of like how things felt when Hurricane Matthew, when we had to deal with that in Charleston. And that was my first ever hurricane I ever went through, and fitting it had my name to it. But yeah, and that was another one. It came through at night, and the eye wall came past us at about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I got a kind of a crazy story with that one real quick, if y'all don't mind. And then we'll show you some video of some stuff I captured earlier. But yeah, basically what happened was I'll never forget, it was around 4:30, 4:45 in the morning, and things were getting bad. I mean, the wind was picking up. Again, we couldn't see outside because all the windows were and everything were boarded up, so you couldn't see anything. But you could sure as hell hear it. And because my bed that I had at that time was right next to a window, and man, you could just hear the wind and everything just pounding that board that was covering the window. And because of, we were right on the coast there with the fire department, the firehouse already had, we had things that were already set for boarding windows. I mean, we didn't have to nail anything in. They already had channels. So we just took each piece of plywood had a label of a window on it. We just slid it into place. But when you got, like you'll see later on, if I can catch it, as this storm gets closer, the pressures are going to change big time. And that board just kept slapping the window, plus the wind and the rain. Oh man, it was almost tormenting. But I tried to get some sleep. I didn't sleep a whole lot. But anyway, about 4:30, quarter to 5 a.m. comes in, and we get the tones for a potential structure fire. And I'm thinking, what? And first off, it's raining sideways, has been for the last 8 hours. And I'm thinking, what is burning with all this going on? There's so much rain. And so we get out there. At that time, I was driving. I was an engineer. And we get to this residence, and we were the first engine on scene. In the fire service, we call that first due. And we didn't see anything, but it's pitch black. There's no power. We got our lights because the house that reported it was pretty far off the road. So we got our lights out to make sure we're not going to step on any down lines or anything. You can see the homeowner in the doorway, and they're waving at us like, it's over there. And they start pointing across the lake because, like, where is this fire that you all reported? What is this thing? We don't see anything. It's pitch black. And they pointed across the pond, and they said, it's back there. It's back there. I'm like, what is back there? There's nothing there. They said, see that? There's flickering back there. Y'all, that was a house that had a generator in it, and that was one of their lights, and that was the tree blowing in front of the light. These people thought that house was on fire. Man, when I tell you, I saw that captain's face turn, as we call it, fire engine red. And he just said, as he's biting through his tongue, he's like, that is a lantern, and that is a tree blowing in front of the lantern. You can see it from here. And, oh, yeah, our bad. And so we obviously canceled the entire response. But as we're walking back to the engine, we hear them yelling. They said, hey, y'all know when the power's going to be back on? Now, keep in mind, the eye wall is fast approaching Charleston. Like it wasn't there yet. It was still about an hour away. But the wind was picking up. Things were getting bad. I mean, the conditions were deteriorating quickly. And they had to call to ask us when the power was going to be back on. I'm like, yeah, they got people standing up. They got linemen out now. They're restoring power as we speak with 50, 60 mile an hour winds. Like, people, I swear, the general public, when you work with the public, they will test your ever-loving last nerve sometimes. But and then people complaining, they're in these big fancy houses, which there was a ton of them along the beachfronts and that. You'd think if you're going to spend $1.5 million or more on a house, wouldn't you want to spend a little bit extra on a generator? But you would be amazed at the amount of people that didn't do that. And then they're bitching at us. Where's the power on? When's the power going to come back on? Oh, man. So that was one of my more well-known memories from Hurricane Matthew. And once we got back in the engine, man, I tell you, I felt like driving back to the firehouse was sketchy because there were trees down. You could hear shit snapping. I looked at the captain. I said, when are they going to put out this all-stop? I said, the winds have to be at least 40 miles an hour now. And so we're weaving around, driving slow, winds whipping. You can actually, when the wind actually makes a fire truck rock with as heavy as those things are, it's heavy winds. Well, anyway, we get back to the firehouse, pull the engine in, put the bay doors down, and no sooner did we do that than dispatch comes across, incident command says, all units, all Charleston County units, fire, EMS, police, everybody, we're issuing the all-stop now. Winds have hit 40 miles an hour sustained. And that was it till about 12 or 1 o'clock. And I tell you, I was almost breathing a sigh of relief for a minute. Not that, it's not good because then, like I said, the calls kept coming in, but we didn't answer them because you can't. But for the first time, like I was trying to just get some rest because I honestly was a nervous wreck because just not knowing what to expect. So, I know what to do, and now I've been through several of these, but this one here, just because of the size and how powerful it is, it does make you a little nervous. So, and I wanted to get this uploaded because hopefully tomorrow morning I'll be able to do some more, and I'm going to film throughout tonight as the storm moves through. But, if we lose power, then it's going to be a while before I can upload. So at least want to get this one out, and then, God willing, we still have power tomorrow, and I can keep doing this. And then hopefully we'll wrap it up tomorrow, and then we'll get back to back to normal Friday evening or Saturday evening at some point. So thank you all for listening. I appreciate it. So right now, we're going to be... Oh, one more thing, safety-wise. I was talking about the generators earlier. The other thing you want to do is make sure that they are far away from your house, and please, people, do not put them in your garage. Again, things I've seen in firefighting. You don't want that thing in your garage. Carbon monoxide is a real deal. It will kill you. And you don't want it too close to the house because it will draft into the house. So I'm telling you all, don't take these things lightly. Make sure that you have every safety precaution in place with these things, because a lot of people run out and grab them and they have no idea what they're doing, and they just start plugging shit into them, and then, power's out, turn it on. Next thing you know, they got that thing sitting right next to a window or, someplace where the carbon monoxide can come in the house, and it doesn't take much to start getting everybody, the carbon monoxide symptoms with the nauseated and headaches, throwing up, that you want to be real careful of that stuff. So please take care with those generators, and obviously, no indoor fires. These people with this damn gasoline, I tell you, I still can't believe that one. That guy filling up those 5-gallon buckets. And again, there was more people doing it today. Driving by some of these gas stations, you could see it. A lot of gas stations out of fuel, though, but that's why they were out of fuel. It's so pointless. Everybody hoarding gas. And for what? Why? If people would have filled their gas tanks up like I did, like 2 or 3 days ago, this wouldn't even be an issue. But you know what? We can't wait till the last. We can't do things proactively anymore. We gotta wait till the ever loving last minute to do anything, and then we bitch about it because things are either out of stock or unavailable. And as I drove around this morning, just like I said, I had to pick up a couple extra things real quick before the weather went bad, and all the gas stations are closed. All the pumps are saran wrapped. So that's the thing. Once the storm is over, we got we got to get fuel to all these gas stations now. So, I got a full tank, so I can drive for several days before I even have to think about getting fuel. So that's a good thing. But again, people like that guy last night hoarding gas like that is completely moronic. And the sad part is, that gas by now is probably useless because gasoline has got to be in the correct containers. It's got to be in a correct storage facility container, or it's got to be in a vehicle where it's sealed off. Moisture, any type of moisture gets in that gasoline, it's wrecked. And then when you go pouring it into whatever engine you're going to use, you're going to destroy that engine on top of it. So it's just all of that gasoline that people were doing that with is all going to be useless. And it's just complete and utter nonsensical greed. It's if people would just take the time and get themselves ready for these storms, February, March, or April when nothing is going on, you wouldn't have to do this. But we do this every freaking time. Gas stations run out of gas. People panic buy. I don't understand it. Like, we have got to stop thinking about just what's in front of us today and start thinking about, hey, let's plan for the future a little bit. So anyway, that's my little rant on that. But, sadly, if we ever, I'm sure we'll see another hurricane at some point. They'll do it again. But for me, the minute I see a storm brewing up anywhere and that cone of uncertainty starts, even if it's remotely heading towards our direction, I'm topping off with gas, and I don't let it go below 3/4 until this thing is over. So, all right now we're going to plug in some clips, some from the storm, and then one from the The first one, though, is going to be from that YouTube, that guy live streaming. I mean, I think people need to see this because it's irritating. So I'm going to throw that one in there now, and then we'll put the other ones in, and then we'll wrap this up.
So I think the 2 p.m. is just them asking nicely, and then the 8 p.m. is a hard boundary they're setting. Do you think the pool is open?
It is?
I don't know, I'm asking you. No, it doesn't look like it. They have all the, I don't know, it is.
What? This pool's open?
It's open, yeah, look at all the lifeguards. Oh shoot, I think I forgot my swim shorts.
Oh no.
I would come if I had them.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Cleaning service, welcome chomps. Hopefully you're doing good here today. Thank you so much for coming in today. Also, welcome to, now what?
I don't know, should we continue?
We can just walk around a little bit,
Let's
maybe.
like do a loop around. It's not that bad out here.
Yeah. Let's just not go on the bridge.
But what?
The bridge is like windy.
Well, we won't go on the bridge. We'll go like, let's go out here and go right.
Okay.
So you can see, here we are. The storm is right there. You can see how we're now just on the outer edge now of where the center line goes. So it looks like it's going to go, as of now, again, this could change. This could still change. But it looks like it's going to enter in somewhere around Sarasota and then continue across the state. So we're still going to feel the winds, but being where this is at, probably not going to get too much of the eye wall, which is good because that's where all the destructive winds are. But this thing's going to come right across Palm Bay and south of Cape Canaveral. And when you zoom out, you can see just how big this is. And then put it into motion here. You see where it's spinning right there? We are in the filthy side of this thing. And unfortunately, because of that, we've had a lot of tornado warnings already. Mostly in Orange County. So that's the other thing you got to watch out for with this stuff is these freaking tornado warnings. Now, this isn't going to drop down an EF 3, 4, 5, but it definitely is capable of producing like an EF 1. And that's enough to do damage. So you got to keep a close eye on that. Plus, make sure that you stay safe in these storms. So let's take a look outside here. Man, you can feel the humidity is way up. It's got to be almost 100%. So this is kind of be our weather for quite a while. Now you can feel the wind gusts. Every now and then it does blow pretty hard, but it comes and goes. The humidity right now is 98%. The barometric pressure 29.62 inches and rising, which is good. And a dew point 73 degrees. Man. Also, the millibars on this hurricane are increasing, which is good. That means it's losing strength, but it's still pretty potent. And because it's losing its strength, it's growing in size. One of the other things that I'll show you later on, if I can do it, if it's safe to do so, is as the center of this storm gets closer to us, that's when the pressures really start to change, and you actually will be able to watch the house almost breathe, especially where the door is. There's a good gust. You'll actually see the door breathe in and out, and it's almost creepy looking. But you can see now the wind is blowing this way. You see the direction the trees are going? There's a pretty good gust right there. And then later on, once we get on the other side of this thing, the wind will go back that way. But tonight is when we're supposed to get the wind gusts. They're talking 40 to 60 tonight and tomorrow morning. So that's going to be a little tense tonight, I think. Now here we are. It's about 5 p.m. Starting to get a little bit more gusty winds, and It's getting close to making landfall around Sarasota, it looks like. It's just south of Sarasota. The eye wall is starting to come apart. So that's a good thing. That means it's hitting shear, but it is moving a lot faster now. Instead of spending all day in this thing tomorrow, it looks like it's going to be wrapping up by about noon. So that's a good thing, but unfortunately, because of the speed is picking up, we're going to have to deal with this crap all night tonight. And be honest with you, I'm really not looking forward to that at all. So just gonna hunker in for the night, I guess, and we'll try to keep updating. But yeah, it's starting to pick up quite a bit now. And the rain's been pretty continuous. Like I said, we're in about the 6 to 12 inch band of rain, so that's we're probably going to see every bit of that. This is Reed Timmer. They're down around, I think they're right in this area, just south of Sarasota. Because right now what's happening is this right here is pulling this is pulling the ocean or the Gulf away from the shore, and it's picking it up. And what's going to happen is it comes ashore down here is it's going to throw all that water up onto the land. That's why he was saying we got to get out of here, because this thing is going to create a tsunami. So this is current situation. You can see how close this thing is to making landfall. It'll be crossing over land right about south of Sarasota, and it's moving more east now. So it's still anybody's guess as to what we're going to end up with here, but this is the area you're going to really, hopefully we don't deal with this. This is where all of the powerful winds are and everything, right in through here. This is a really good satellite view of this thing, but there's the eye. You can see, though, right here, where the bottom part is, it's this part here is wide open down here, which is good. That means it's hitting a lot of shear from that cold front. So it's starting to become disorganized, but it's still a Category 3, I believe.
No, dangerous!
He's literally these people went out there to the beachfront, and he's literally saying, don't go out there. If Reed Timmer's telling you not to go out there, you shouldn't go out there. You need to listen to that guy. Man. All right, everybody. So those are the videos. Like I said, that's a little bit of earlier today. And then, again, from that freaking live stream that those guys were doing, you know, that I still can't believe they had lifeguards sitting out there. That blows my mind. But anyway, we may talk about that later, because I'm not sure if anybody else caught on to that, but I know I sure did. That to me is not, that's not safe at all. But you know, everybody stay safe out there. This is going to be my last time talking in this format, on the podcast format. From this point onward, I'm going to use my G7X camera, and then possibly my GoPro if need be. And then, like I said, we're going to piece it all together after the storm is over. But tonight, going to be a little nerve-wracking. It looks like, as I've mentioned before, this thing has picked up speed and is going to come right past us at about 2 or 3 o'clock this morning. And then by tomorrow morning, by 10 or 11 o'clock, it's going to be already off the coast. So that's a good thing, but it just sucks that, once again, this thing's going to come through at nighttime. 90% of the hurricanes I've been through so far have all been at freaking night, and I hate it, because you can't see squat. You can sure hear it. Like right now, the wind is just beating the crap out of the window, and the rain. And it's just a gigantic waiting game, and all you can do is just hope for the best, you know, that nothing gets damaged, and that we can all get back to our lives soon, and along with everybody. So please, everybody out there that's watching this, if you're in this storm, whether you live here or you're visiting, please stay safe. Now is not the time to leave. That ship has sailed. You're now in this till the end. So please don't let anybody get freaked out and say, "Oh, we need to drive out of this or leave." That is probably one of the worst things you could do. Plus, now there is a curfew in place, meaning that only unless you are an emergency services worker, only then, and you have to have that piece of ID from the state of Florida on your person. You don't have that, you'll be cited and then sent home immediately or potentially arrested. They're not playing around right now. Everybody's off the roads. And so please stay safe, stay hunkered down, find some cool stuff to do, enjoy time with you and your loved ones, whoever you're here with, or anybody that's riding this thing out at home. Please be safe. Hopefully nobody's along the Gulf, because I'm watching Reed Timmer's YouTube channel right now. He's live down there, and it looks bad. Like it's very windy. Hopefully nobody is down there. He's obviously a professional storm chaser and all that. He knows what he's doing. But even you could even tell by him, like it's pretty rough down there. So my hope is that even though it's moving fast, it'll dial the wind speeds down just a little bit, when it gets by us. So time will tell, but we'll film it on the G7X or the GoPro. 'Cause I don't plan on sleeping a lot tonight, at least not till after this thing is passed, and then I can, get some rest. I'm just hoping that we don't lose power, We didn't on the last one with Ian, and Ian had packed a pretty good punch with some 60, 70 mile an hour winds, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to sign off from here. Next time we do this, the storm will be long gone, and we'll pick up with something fun again. So thank you all very much for watching. The next upload will be, in a vlog-style format from my Canon camera. So appreciate it, everybody. Have a good evening. Everybody stay safe. And once again, thank you to all our first responders, police, fire, EMS, military, anybody that works in the hospital, doctors, nurses, medics, everybody that's going to have a part in this storm and then after it's done. So thank you all very much. From me to you. I really appreciate it. Very grateful. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you on the other side of this thing. See ya.